Hi, I'm Wild Bill, and this is an artistic stream of consciousness vlog for the 22nd of February, 2024. Today's session was a good one for me. One of the songs I recorded is a cover. It's Leon Russell's This Masquerade. I just taught this to myself earlier in the month. I'm practicing it frequently to strengthen my muscle memory, especially in my left hand. Once I can leave the left hand operate on musical autopilot, I can let my right hand search for the music I'm hearing in my head as the song plays out. If I can get good enough at that, and probably key if I hear music in my head worth sharing with others, I approach jazz. You don't have to be the best at your instrument to be jazz, but it helps. Those folks who disdain doing the same thing over and over again while desiring improvement or change for the better aren't classical musicians, because that's the job. Jazz is elsewhere on the highway of music. That's why Andre Previn fell short of his hype that he was everything, that he was jazz and classical, could play anything. He was never a jazz musician, much less an artist. He needed a chart and strict adherence to the plan, or he was lost in the ozone. He was a superior craftsman, a master of his profession, not an artist, at least in performance. I should know. I watched him crash and burn at the Stanley Theater while trying to gel with Ella Fitzgerald and Ellies. The first song, wonderful. I thought, this could be good. Andre certainly sparkles when he's got the chart in front of him. Second song, Andre turned the page, but Ella interposed a languid hand. Let's not do that one, Andre. Herb, give us Lady Be Good. So Herb counted it out with an 8-bar intro while Andre, frantic, visibly shaken, Jeff got us some good seats, riffled through his charts looking for the song. He never found that chart, never entered the, quote, jam. I honestly felt sorry for a world-class conductor performing at the top of his craft. And he and me, just some bum off the street with enough musical familiarity and savvy, and long-earned familiarity with anxiety-induced panic attacks, to feel sorry for the guy, whose single performance that night most likely exceeded in take-home pay my entire performing career. How's that crow taste, Bill? Needs salt. Mine was likely not the only ear in the house that understood what was going on. Just saying. The self-styled can-do-it-all pianist was caught with his musical pants down. He was a classical musician and a conductor and a composer, way out of my league. But he was no jazz player. He could no more hear or feel a song than an astronaut can breathe water. I often say that music has two principal schema. I really talk like that. A, the mathematical, strictly quantifiable, scientifical component. I call it the left brain component. Castadita would have called it the tonal, the sum of what you know and its pressure to dissolve your doubt that things are as we've been taught. B, the non-Euclidean, non-verbal, non-scientific, stretching out into unfamiliar territory component. I call it the right brain component. Castadita would call it the nagual, the sum of all you do not know, of things that no certainty will ever touch, the darkness, home to chaos, nightmares, and potential far beyond that we are willing to accept. Here's an allegory. If every man or woman has 100 points to divide between the two sides of the brain, Andre was like 98 spent in A, the left, and 2 in B, the right. I'm more like 80 in the right brain and 20 in the left. He could do the same thing, precisely identical, with glittering ability, every time, while I can't play the same song the same way twice. Go listen, please. We are incapable, he and I, of sharing our knowledge of music with one another. He is all language and no substance. I am all substance and no language. From my point of view, we're equally crippled. I doubt that if consulted, he'd agree. If he ever heard me perform, he'd wonder silently on which drug I'd spent the money my mom gave me for piano lessons. It was weed. I'm sure he'd be polite about it, if I even appeared on his radar. If I ever hear him perform again, I'd be like, come on, Andre, you got this, and cheer him on because I know how it feels. That in a somewhat verbose nutshell, is the difference between sympathy and empathy. Most edifying, I must say. If I'm right, I have achieved something worthwhile. If I'm wrong, I merely sat there enchanted by the sound of my own voice. Ah, crap, I hope not. This is Wild Bill, Artistic Stream of Consciousness for the 22nd of February, 2024.